afternoon. My name is Amalia Delianis, and I'm the editor of Plumbing Engineer magazine. Welcome to another episode of PHCPPros Live. We are here today at the ASPE Convention Expo, which is taking place at the Indiana Convention Center. My guest this afternoon is Rick Lewis, who is with Willoughby Industries. Welcome, Rick.
Thank you. Appreciate being here.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
How are you today? And I would like to start off, let's talk a little bit about you, if
Okay,
you don't mind.
sure.
Tell me about your role at Willoughby Industries. You're a national sales manager, correct?
I am the national sales manager for Willoughby Industries. I've been there for 36 years, and so I'm responsible for running our outside and inside sales departments within the company. We operate through roughly 45 independent manufacturer representatives throughout the country, and my job for us is to manage that representative network.
Okay.
Yep.
So for our viewers or passers-by that don't know about Willoughby, why don't you tell our viewers a little bit about Willoughby Industries?
Willoughby Industries, we're a manufacturer of commercial grade and institutional grade plumbing fixtures. So we make products out of stainless steel and solid surface for the corrections market, for the school market, for healthcare, for behavioral healthcare, and for park and recreation. We manufacture these products mainly so that they cannot be abused. With a lot of our newer products, they're made so that they also look nice.
Well, that's great. So over the years, especially because of the pandemic, we've faced a number of challenges as an industry, but like in this last year, what do you think has been the largest challenge that you've had?
I would say that question is fairly easy to answer for me. Our biggest challenge this year has been managing our independent manufacturer network, manufacturer sales representative network. I've never seen in my career so much change and turmoil in the manufacturer rep industry, Some of the larger companies, I believe you had a company by the name of Zurn on here earlier, when they make mergers, like with LK, I think the industry is probably familiar with that, that sends ripple effects throughout the industry. And a lot of reps have been forced to make some decisions regarding these mergers and acquisitions in terms of, what am I going to do as far as my agency, what products am I going to represent? We're getting calls from representatives that have been our reps for 30 to 40 years, and they're basically calling and saying, hey, unfortunately, we love your product, we love your people, but we're having to move in a different direction because of a decision that was made by another manufacturer that caused a ripple effect and caused them to have to make tough decisions for the independent rep to move in a different direction. So that's been tough this year.
So how has Willoughby been dealing with this issue? How have you contended with the fact that you're now working with different reps or new reps or to try to promote your product?
I mean, anytime you put on a new sales agency, because it's more than just one person, it's an agency, there is an onboarding time period. It takes time for people, even people who may have represented some of our competitors before. There's a culture climate that we have at Willoughby that they've got to be able to assimilate into and be able to, function as our independent arm out in the field. And so we've had a lot of training, a lot of factory tours, a lot of factory visits, a lot of Zoom calls, trying to get these newer reps up to speed and hitting the market quickly to begin to start bringing orders to us. Yes.
Sounds like you have a plan of action.
We have a plan of action, whether we like it or not. Yes.
Beyond, wow. So beyond the challenge of your manufacturer reps, across the board, supply chain issues have been an issue. What kinds of spikes in raw material costs or any other product line components has Willoughby had to contend with over the past year?
I would imagine when you asked the first question, you probably thought this was going to be my answer, was about supply chain and raw material. Second to managing the independent manufacturer rep force, it has been raw material and supply chain. If you buy stainless steel like we do, and we're one of the largest purchasers of flat stainless steel sheet in the city of Indianapolis. Our manufacturing facility is here in Indianapolis. And when you buy like we do, March the 8th of 2022 is a day of infamy. It was the day that nickel, which is the key ingredient in stainless steel, so stainless steel prices rise and fall based on the price of nickel. That's the raw material, or one of the chief raw materials in stainless steel. That day, nickel went from trading at $30,000 per metric ton to over $100,000 a metric ton in one day. And that was a result of some foreign activity that was going on and trying to manipulate the market. But as a buyer, all of a sudden, in a single day, the raw material that we typically buy went up 3 times, threefold. And all of a sudden now we've got these jobs that we have bid, that we have commitments on from contractors and wholesalers that may not go for another 12 to 18 months. And we've had to have some tough conversations with some customers about, hey, unfortunately we're no longer able to honor your price because of these massive raw material price increases that have occurred in our world, the stainless steel market. It's unheard of.
How have they reacted? I mean, they understand. I mean, it's in the news. It's all over the news, this product cost. I mean, how have the buyers of your product reacted to the fact that it's going to cost a little more to deliver product?
Surprisingly, because they're hearing it from everybody. It's just not Willoughby Industries that they're hearing it from. They're hearing it from, all the manufacturers in this building. They're here right now are experiencing the same raw material price increases that we're experiencing. And so I think the contractors and the wholesalers, know these calls are going to come, and then of course they've got to move on and have tough conversations with the owners of the facilities that are being built. And I've pretty much seen it's not, I'm not going to say it's appreciated or accepted, but things get worked out and we make it happen.
Okay. What about availability of supply? I mean, how has that impacted your company and cost?
Availability. We're a U.S.-based manufacturer, and we're proud to tell people we build our product in the United States of America. We also are proud to say we only use domestic stainless steel. There are just a few mills in the country that make stainless steel. It's not like there's 20 mills in the States that make stainless. And so pretty much what ends up happening...
ASPE. Please make your way to the ASPE Pavilion in booth 621 to claim your prize of an Apple HomePod Mini. Again, Troy Dawes, make your way to booth 621 to claim your prize.
That wasn't my name, she said, was it?
No, it
wasn't.
wasn't.
I thought I'd won the Apple,
darn it.
the Apple iPod or whatever.
No, I did.
So, yeah, you did. There you go.
So
kind of went off script there, sorry.
Yeah, no problem. So we were talking about supply product, the supply, supply and demand.
The world that we live in right now, and it kills our purchasing people because we try to buy right. Okay, we try to negotiate, good pricing so that we in turn can be competitive in the market. The situation you have right now, especially with the stainless steel market, is when you get a call from a vendor and they say we've got 250,000 pounds of type 304, 14 gauge type 304 stainless steel. I've got it. Do you want it? There's no discussion on price. You're going to pay whatever they tell you because they have it. And you basically have to tell them right at that point that yes, we'll take it. In other words, they're going to hang up the phone and call somebody else that's going to take it out from underneath you. And we've been fortunate. We've got a very nice backlog of work within our facility. And so we need to keep bringing stainless steel in. And the deal is right now, there's no negotiating on price, but if somebody's got it, you better buy it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yep.
For Willoughby, why is it important, what's the importance of the specifying engineer as they write specs for future products?
Again, Troy Dawes with SCEG. Please make your way to the ASPE Pavilion in booth 621 to claim your prize. Troy Dawes with SCEG.
Let me rephrase that. What should specifying plumbing engineers look for as they specify your types of products? Is there anything unique that they should take into consideration?
Yeah. I think sometimes the engineer fails to understand how important they are in the process.
Okay.
The products that they select ultimately determines the final quality of that project. If they try to use low budget type materials in their specifications, at the end of the day, the owner is going to get a low budget type facility. And I think the engineers, really discount the importance of the products that they specify. I think it's important that I was just having a conversation at our booth about 20 minutes before I came over here. Is, with us, what we like to see is the specifications being developed. We try to work with the engineers to develop the specifications so that when the job ultimately comes out to bid and the contractor sends us the specs to quote, that we're quoting the same job as our competitor. If it's missing flush valves and lavatory valves and shower valves in the specs, now we know those are needed, right? So we're going to put it into our quote, but maybe our competitor's not. And then all of a sudden what ends up happening is you get a contractor that calls up and says, hey guys, I know you're spec by name and model number, but you're significantly higher than your competitor. Well, when you peel the onion back and you see that we've quoted what we know is required and our competitor didn't, it makes for, again, an interesting conversation with a contractor. So I think it's important that the engineers understand how much clout and power they have in the specifications that they're preparing for these new buildings, because they do.
Right. And so talk about the quality of the Willoughby product. I mean, how long does a standard stainless steel toilet last once you install it? I mean, what are the maintenance requirements?
It's interesting you ask that question, because this is year 36 for me, okay? And we are beginning to go around now to prisons that we sold in the mid-'80s when I came on board with Willoughby, and we're performing valve retrofits, okay, where the stainless steel is still good. And that was 30 years ago that we built and supplied the job. The stainless is good. All that needs to be replaced are the sink valves, the toilet flush valves. You may want to put some electronic controls on the product, those type of things. But as far as the stainless, unfortunately, we and ultimately our competitors, there's no obsolescence to our product. I mean, ultimately what you'll find is a lot of times why they'll replace toilets is because there's 5-gallon toilets out in the field. There's 3.5-gallon toilets out in the field, and of course at some point the owner may say, I want to go ahead and replace the stainless steel toilets because I want to go to a lower gallon per flush capacity, and in that case the stainless would get replaced. But for the most part, I'm seeing stainless steel that's been in place for 30 to 40 years and still functioning like the day it was put in.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So Willoughby is made in the USA?
Oh yeah.
I'm very proud of that, I
Very
assume.
proud. Very proud.
Do you think that matters, that your product is manufactured here in our country?
That's a great question, and that's a question that we ask a lot, okay, at Willoughby, because we do tout that. If you go to our website, if you go to our booth right now, you're going to see that we're touting made in the USA. And we believe it matters, because at the end of the day, our products are being purchased by contractors who are putting products into U.S.-built new facilities, okay? And if you think about, we talk a lot in our world today about infrastructure, right? And if product that is used on a job, okay, that is being built outside of the United States, right? Okay, think about that. We all pay taxes. You pay taxes, I pay taxes, okay, based on what I make. But if that work gets pulled out to another country, there's no taxes that are being paid to the U.S. government on that. Taxes that go to support roads, that go to support schools, that go to support, the infrastructure of our nation as a whole, right? And so what we look at is, and we try to tell our contractors that, hey, if you're pulling that manufacturing work out of the country, ultimately you're going to be sacrificing future jobs that you may ultimately be able to participate in, because you're pulling that funding source away from the United States government. So yeah, that's the way. So that's why we think it truly matters.
Oh wow! So we're going to switch to come back to Willoughby in general, and what can we expect in the year ahead from Willoughby? What do you think? What should we keep an eye out for?
Yep, another conversation that is ongoing in our country right now, and I'm not going to talk politics, don't get scared,
no, okay.
but is mental health, right? That's a conversation.
Yes.
And in the 1990s, there was decisions that were made to shut down the mental and psychiatric facilities across our country, okay? And when that occurred, it's not like mental and psychiatric conditions went away, okay? People still had mental health issues. But the county jail became the mental health facility. And I will tell you that the county jail is not where people need to be sent that have mental health issues. They need to be put into therapy. They need to be put into behavioral health care units. And so what Willoughby is doing is we are developing and currently manufacturing a whole suite of products that are designed for the mental health industry. What do I mean by that? The mental health industry is you still have abuse, you still have ligature or suicide attempts that occur inside those facilities. So the products have to be built with a purpose so that you can't abuse and tear them up, but they can't look like a maximum security stainless steel toilet. Okay, that is just not good for the therapeutic environment that these mental health facilities need to have. And so what you'll see is if you come by our booth, if you were to come to our factory, if you would look to see what our long-range goals are, it's to continue to build product for the mental health facility to help society as a whole.
That sounds wonderful. So if we're here today and we would like to come visit you, where's your booth at the ASPE convention right now?
We're in booth 1023.
Okay.
And we would love to have any engineers or any contractors or wholesalers that are listening today that might be on the show floor. Please come by. We have a 10x40 booth that's chock full of product. We'd love you to see it, touch it, feel it, give us your comments on it, and hopefully end up specifying our products for use on a future project.
And if a potential engineer is interested in your product but they're not here today, how can they get in touch with you and your organization?
Yep, 2 ways. 1-800-428-4065. One of the things that we pride ourselves on as a company is when you call our company, you will talk to a live person.
Okay.
It is not automated voicemail that picks up. So you literally will talk to somebody when you call our company, and we will try to get you to the appropriate person to help. And then Willoughby-ind.com.
Wonderful.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much for your time today. Have a good afternoon and enjoy the rest of the show.
Very good.